This is the legendary Iron Titan Pokemon Registeel, and this is a toddler. By the end of this video, the lines between the two of these images will blur until neither are recognizable. My goal is simple. I want to beat one of my favorite video games of all time, Fallout 4, using only one of my favorite video game characters of all time, a Registeel. Introducing my stand-in character for this endeavor,
I am the handsomest man alive.
Registeel. He's a sneaky, sly little man with a newly dead wife and a passion for vengeance. Unfortunately for Reginald, he is a Pokémon trainer, and Pokémon trainers don't fight with their fists, they fight with magical creatures and living nuclear bombs. Oh hey, speak of the devil. The rules of the Registeel run are simple. I can't kill anything in this post-apocalyptic wasteland.
Now how did I go and manage this?
If I want someone or something dead, I need to dial up my main man Registeel and ask him to take care of business while I turn the blind eye. Now how am I going to obtain a Registeel in Fallout 4, you might be wondering? Oh, lucky for me, I don't need to learn Braille to understand these instructions are telling me to stand in the middle of this tomb and use the HM for flash. No. I simply need to reach level 15 without killing anything, picking fights with anyone, avoiding near death, and then passively fistfight a swarm of robots. Oh, easily as perfectly preserved pie. Except it's not. You see, I can't even manage to escape the first ever area in this game without getting beaten to death violently by a swarm of giant, irradiated cockroaches. And I need those roaches dead. Otherwise, I can't pick up this glorified wristwatch supercomputer that can slow down time. After cowering in the bathroom for a while, I devised a great plan. Earlier, I passed by some unstable Tesla coils that jolt electricity. Electricity that can kill giant irradiated cockroaches. All I gotta do is play the meanest game of Dodge Roach in the history of my forever. Finally, after 20 minutes and a pile of roasted roaches.
I'm so smart. You've gotta be fucking kidding me. Alright, come with me. Come with me. You're going into the roach room. I'm taking you to the roach room. Come with me.
I'm able to finally escape the vault and see this beautiful, beautiful post-apocalyptic playground.
Ooh, I'm shelving it. Ooh, I'm shelving it so good. Ooh, I'm so good at shelving. Ooh, I'm shelving it. I'm shelving it really nicely. I'm shelving it. Ooh.
Once I got to a comfortable level, I decided to head out to the wild wasteland and gather materials to build my Registeel. You know, Registeel. The only thing I could use to fight off things like raiders, super mutants, or giant irradiated bears.
Never take a hit at Jet again, I swear. I'll be okay.
Whew, almost lost my cool there. Easiest sneak of my life. Bear successfully survived.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no.
Almost lost my cool there. Thank Rob for these robots. Bear successfully survived.
I'm not even gonna ask how I met. Okay. I swear to God, if I run into another bear, I will scream. Now, let's play my favorite game, Dodge a Bear.
Almost lost my cool there, but I successfully made it to Vault 81, home of non-hostiles looking to not beat me up. And luckily for me, it's a bear-free zone as well. This allows me to pillage and plunder various resources from right under these vault dwellers' clean, pristine noses. My Registeel will be crafted using ill-gotten gains. And yes, the tuxedo was an important ill-gotten gain. It makes me feel handsome. After that, I made my way to the great green jewel of the Commonwealth, Diamond City. A new place for me to barter and steal additional resources to build my kid-friendly killer death automaton. Now that I had made some sufficient progress in exploration and resource gathering, I went right back to the shelf building grind. This time, I was able to push myself past the level 15 threshold, needed to even think about assembling my Registeel. They say the beginning of a video game challenge run is always the hardest part, and they sure aren't kidding. Removing all of my combat capabilities in a game where everything wants to combat you so bad is an absurdly large hindrance. But luckily, I'm about to cross the first major hurdle of this run. I just need to kill these robots without killing these robots. You see, this cool robot named Ada will give me a crafting recipe for a robot workbench, which will allow me to build many mechanical monstrosities, from floating mini-fridges to the toddler decimator 9000. I need this robot workbench so I can assemble and command my very own Registeel and have him fight all my battles for me. Problem is, Ada is getting her metaphorical skull kicked in violently by a swarm of murderous death robots. I need to think of some big brain way to destroy these robots without, well, destroying these robots. And I think I have a plan. Come and flashback with me. I think that's what flashbacks sound like. Earlier, I stumbled across the General Atomics Galleria while stocking my pockets with loot. And I may or may not have accidentally angered a robot or 2 or 3 or 4. My solution? I hacked into them, hacker style, and turned them into miniature nuclear bombs. Now, does this invalidate my run? I'd say no, for a couple of reasons. Think of these robots like a graveler or an electrode. They show up, click explode, and die. These robots are just gravelers, see? That's a graveler, that's a graveler, that's a graveler, that's a graveler, that's a graveler. That one was actually an electrode, fun fact, but this was a graveler. My run, my rules. In my rule state, I can turn these robots into bombs. I am now ready to Reggie. Some quick rules for the Registeel robot. Rule number 1, and the most obvious one, he must resemble Registeel. If someone looks at this and says, I think that's kind of a Registeel, then I did a good job. Rule number 2, I can only give Registeel weapons that correspond with his move pool. I give Registeel the ability to shoot lasers. Let's call these lasers flash cannon or charge beam or something. Bing bang boo. And finally, rule number 3, he's gotta sound like a Registeel.
Can you understand a word I'm saying?
Introducing the Registeel Mark 1. I'll upgrade him when I get the resources and the level ups, but for now he's equipped with 1, count him, 1 singular laser shooting hand, and 1, count him, 1 non-laser shooting hand. He also waddles very, very slowly. And fresh off the press, it is time for Registeel to engage in his first ever fight against some killer robots beating up dog meat on my front lawn. That is not a good sign. But now I actually have the Registeel. I have a way to fight off the killer robots and giant bears. The world's oyster just opened up for me to explore. So let's get loading. We have a Reggie to upgrade.
It's alive.
Get it! That guy. See if he had anything worth taking.
Hey. Head over there. Drop him. Take him out. Go there. That way.
Well, now it seems I've found myself in a precarious problem. Registeel's down for the count, well outside my reach to revive him. A Deathclaw has me pinned inside this building, and I'm slowly being surrounded by an endless supply of raiders. This is what I call a Yikaronian cheese. My only hope is that Presto Gravy and the raiders slowly chip away at the Deathclaw's health bar. Oh, we are so back in business.
On him. That way.
I found out that some enemies just completely ignore me since I'm not the one actively attacking them. Instead, they'll go straight for Registeel. It feels like an actual Pokémon experience. Like a rated R Legends Arceus. I send my Pokemon in to do the battle while I pop some jet in the corner. This is what I call living. It appears I've flown a little close to the sun here. No robo-revival sticks means no robo-revival, meaning once the steel falls, I'm as helpful as a firefighter at a water park. I had to leave him, my poor Registeel, so I could gather the loot necessary to make him indestructible. But running around butt naked and defenseless in a lawless wasteland is harder than I could have possibly imagined. At least until I heard a familiar gunfight. Registeel can faint. Registeel can black out, but by golly, Registeel is never down for the count. And just like that, I wound up in the General Atomics factory, home of some very, very rogue robots. The goal here is simple. Utilize Registeel to wipe the killer robots, loot the robots' pieces for potential Rebi-reeled. The robots also drop robo-revival sticks, needed for when Registeel and I bite off a little more than we could reasonably swallow, because chewing is delicious. It appears Registeel is not ghoul-proof. The ghouls. Introducing the Mark II model of Registeel, now wielding an automatic laser attachment. I also gave Registeel a taser hand, a la Thunder Punch, helpful in those close quarters fights where he'll get jumped by ghouls, or dogs, or psychopaths with pole cubes. And finally, some much needed armor. Registeel's no longer running around in the nude. Slap these on Registeel and his slow mobility issue will be a thing of the past.
Go check that out. Hey. Over here. Hey. Move here. Heads up. Here. Go.
So we had to ditch the tank treads. Now that Registeel can cross the biggest roadblock of the run, it's time we wipe this dungeon like how we wipe our butts. From side to frickin' side.
Over there. On him. That guy. Moving out.
With the greatest character in this entire franchise, rescued from deep within the depths of this vault by Registeel alone, I felt invincible, ready to take on the world, ready to sick this Iron Titan onto the man who shot and killed my wife. That was really, really uncool. All I needed to do was track him down. I need to follow this dog. And this dog leads to some rough parts of town.
Hey. Go check that out.
Almost lost my cool there. But the bear has been successfully survived. But now, I'm often finding myself getting swarmed by a bunch of radioactive freaks of nature. Dogmeat gets his poor donkey skull kicked in, and Registeel's absolutely nowhere to be seen. And even when I have Registeel by my side, some crazy bullshit falls out of the sky and starts beating us to death. like this game saw I was doing my first ever YouTube recorded challenge run of it and said, hey man, check this out. It'll be so funny if I just... Ooh, almost lost my cool there. But finally, after a long and arduous journey of constant fighting and running for my life, it was time. Time for some constant fighting and running for my life. Finally, after 8 hours of running in fear, 8 hours of being chased by bears and radroaches and 1960s gangsters, 8 hours of yelling commands at my quote-unquote Pokémon by technicality, 8 hours, and here I was, face to face with the man who put a bullet into that one lady I had just met, and it was time I got my revenge. And by me, I mean Registeel. Go kick his ass on my behalf. Ooh. I did not pack any more Robo Revival Sticks, and his grenades insta-kill Registeel. Uh-oh. New plan of action. Can I beat Fallout 4 by running for my life? And just when I thought things were gonna go from worse to bratwurst, he showed up. My goat. My hero. The Steel. You know, I've been through a lot in the past 8 hours, 12 minutes, and 37 seconds. If I've learned anything during that time, it's that you are who you are. And no amount of scrap collecting, or dungeon clearing, or some other third thing can make me anything more than what I really am inside. A violent and disturbed man. But that's okay, because I did what everyone said a violent and disturbed man couldn't do. I made it to Diamond City, I beat Kellogg, I rode the hassle off, and I brought the challenge run back. So yeah, I'm a violent and disturbed man. I'm also a Registeel fan, a huge nerd, and a guy with too much free time. But most of all, I'm quoting SpongeBob. Stand aside, Registeel. It's dehydrated water's time to shine. I have bit off more than I could swallow.